Jasmine Pineda, a star of 90 Day Fiancé, has received a distressing immigration update. ICE expels her from the United States. Jasmine Pineda, known from 90 Day Fiancé, recently disclosed a startling immigration update. She stated that she was deported by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement (ICE). Jasmine, however, could not provide a precise rationale for her departure from the United States. His predicament has caused apprehension among followers, and numerous individuals are anticipating further information. ICE will expel me. 90 Day Fiancé's Jasmine Pineda discloses alarming immigration update. Jasmine Pineda from 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, recently disclosed her immigration status in the United States and a possible deportation concern. In June 2023, she wed Gino Palazzolo, and shortly thereafter, they pursued marriage counseling to resolve their intimacy concerns. Ultimately, Jasmine and Gino consented to pursue an open marriage. However, she unexpectedly conceived with her acquaintance, Matt Brownies, and subsequently gave birth to her third child in the United States. Jasmine has acquired her green card and is prepared to return for the 9th season of 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, alongside Gino. Jasmine has resided in the United States for over 2 years, although her experience as an immigrant may not be as devoid of hardship as many might assume. During a TikTok live session, subsequently published by Therialidipmus, Jasmine recounted her experiences in the United States. She expressed residing in a perpetual state of tension, apprehension, and dread that ICE, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, would come and expel her from the country. Jasmine did not disclose particular causes for her apprehensions. She explicitly expressed that she perpetually had worry and anxiety around the possibility of being deported to Panama by ICE. Notwithstanding her apprehension, she endeavored to maintain a cheerful demeanor by smiling throughout the live session. A considerable number of commenters appeared indifferent to Jasmine's predicament. Jasmine did not reveal the rationale behind her apprehensions regarding ICE, yet there are other factors that could contribute to her worry and uncertainty about her future in the United States. The primary source of Jasmine's concern seems to be the unsuccessful outcome of her relationship with Gino, who would sponsor her K-1 visa. If she acquired a conditional green card, she would probably need to reapply to have the conditions lifted. Nevertheless, her requirement for Gino's presence during this process is unfeasible due to their acrimonious separation. Jasmine might be concerned that Gino could attempt to deport her, despite his lack of any explicit statement of such intentions. She may be apprehensive that ICE may deport her on the grounds of alleged marriage-based fraud, particularly if Gino has reported it as such in court. Jasmine may be concerned due of her incomplete understanding of the United States judicial system. She may be unaware of her complete rights as a green card holder and fears potential deportation by ICE in the near future. Although it is simple to conjecture the reasons behind Jasmine's concern, it is equally plausible that she introduced the topic of deportation to incite controversy. Throughout the months, Jasmine has published numerous posts tantalizing her fans. Her smile while articulating her anxieties over deportation implies that she may not be as concerned as she professed. If Jasmine is truly apprehensive about her position in the United States, she ought to seek legal counsel to address her concerns. Gaining a deeper comprehension of her rights will enhance the sense of security for the 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After cast member. Jasmine positioned herself at the brink of the resort's infinity pool, gazing into the azure water. The Caribbean sun heated her skin, yet internally, she felt cold. Tensions surged like static electricity in her vicinity. She discerned the distant laughing of other couples relishing their afternoon, unaware of the tempest rising within her heart. Gino approached her slowly from behind, carrying 2 glasses of iced tea. "Are you well?" he said, his voice tinged with concern. She pivoted with a forced smile. "I am well." However, she was not. A secret had been developing within her for weeks, very literally. That morning, Jasmine had conducted a pregnancy test in their communal restroom. 2 vivid pink lines had gazed back at her. Gestating. She collapsed onto the tiled floor in astonishment, her heart racing. "The issue?" She was fairly certain that the infant was not Gino's. Prior to her arrival at the resort for couples treatment, Jasmine had traveled to Panama due to a family emergency. Gino remained in Michigan. The visit was intended to be brief, but circumstances escalated. In Panama, she encountered Matthias, a former boyfriend she had not seen in years. He was charismatic, affable, and reminiscent of their fervent history. On a poignant evening, following an extensive dialogue and excessive wine consumption, dormant feelings were rekindled. It was intended to be a singular error. "I am engaged," she said thereafter, her eyes brimming with remorse. Matthias had acquiesced. Return to him. Simply refrain from deceiving yourself. The therapeutic sessions at the last resort were arduous. Gino had become more forthcoming than ever before. He discussed trust and commitment, and during a group activity, he proposed once more, placing a promise ring on Jasmine's finger. And now this occurrence. She had not disclosed this information to anyone, excluding the other cast members. Not Gino. Not even her producer. However, her physique was undergoing transformation, and her emotions were increasingly difficult to conceal. That evening, while seated by the bonfire, the reality emerged. "I have an announcement to make," Jasmine declared, her voice quivering. Gino gazed upward, perplexed yet vigilant. The remaining couples became silent. "I am expecting a child." A handful of gasps. Gino's eyes expanded in astonishment. "What, Jazz? That is remarkable." "Oh my goodness." She gradually shook her head. "You lack comprehension. I am uncertain if it belongs to you." Quietude. The fire emitted a crackling sound. Gino's smile diminished into a state of astonished astonishment. The disclosure reverberated around the resort. Cameras recorded each tear, every dispute, and every hushed dialogue among the other spouses. Gino descended into fury and despair. Jasmine implored for absolution, uncertain whether to request a paternity test or to disengage entirely. The therapists exerted more effort to assist them in navigating the emotional turmoil. Jasmine confronted the repercussions of her conduct, while Gino faced a dilemma. Could he nurture another man's child if he continued to love her? Simultaneously, Matthias, observing from a distance following Jasmine's revelation, sent a subtle message. "If it belongs to me, I will be present, for both of you." As the season finale neared, fans were confronted with a poignant question. Would Jasmine and Gino endure the ultimate betrayal? Would this child, desired or otherwise, irrevocably fracture their relationship? Only time, and possibly a DNA test, will reveal the truth. Gino sat anxiously in the confined Airbnb accommodation he had secured for his stay in Panama City. The nighttime air was laden with humidity, and perspiration coursed down his forehead, not due to the climate, but from the burden of the secret he had borne for weeks. Jasmine was in the toilet, singing gently as she prepared for their romantic dinner. She was unaware. For the majority, love signified sincerity. For Gino, it had evolved into a precarious equilibrium between affection and trepidation. He adored Jasmine intensely. Her fervent disposition, physical allure, and ardent demonstrations of affection had enthralled him from the outset. Since his arrival in Panama for this tour, he has been concealing something, and being capable of obliterating all they had constructed. The events commenced 2 months prior to his departure. Gino received a call from an immigration attorney. The K-1 visa for Jasmine was almost finalized. However, a snag arose. His former fiancée, Melissa, resurfaced, asserting that she had never formally withdrawn her plea. A bureaucratic blunder had inadvertently rendered both applications live. The attorney cautioned him that if this issue remained unresolved before to Jasmine's interview, it could irrevocably jeopardize her prospects. Gino experienced a panic. He disclosed nothing to anyone, not even Jasmine. He attempted to rectify it discreetly. He emailed Melissa, requesting her formal withdrawal of the petition, and transmitted paperwork to USCIS. However, there were postponements. In reality, Jasmine's interview was merely 10 days away, and the matter remained unresolved. If she discovered the truth, She would accuse him of deceit and of harboring another woman in secrecy. In Jasmine's realm, treason was not readily absolved. "Darling, are you prepared?" Jasmine's words interrupted his contemplation. She exited the bathroom, striking in a form-fitting deep crimson dress. Gino smiled faintly and nodded, compelling himself to rise. The restaurant was exquisite, a rooftop establishment offering vistas of the city lights and the ocean beyond. Jasmine was in an elated state, laughing, sipping wine, and discussing their future in the United States. Gino struggled to maintain pace, each drink of water resembling a swallow of remorse. Midway through dinner, Jasmine became silent. She set aside her fork and regarded him with a serious expression. "Your behavior is peculiar, Gino. Are you withholding information from me?" Gino became immobile. His hand grasped the little velvet box within his pocket. The ring of engagement. He intended to propose this evening, but it now seemed inappropriate. However, perhaps he could rectify all matters. Perhaps honesty, even at this late stage, is preferable to betrayal. He inhaled deeply. "I have something to convey to you, Jasmine. I ought to have informed you earlier." Her eyes constricted. "A problem has arisen with the visa. My former fiancée, Melissa, did not formally retract her petition. It is resulting in a postponement. I have been attempting to rectify it. I refrained from causing you concern, thus What did you say?" Jasmine's vocal intensity increased. Patrons redirected their attention. "Did you deceive me? Gino, do you believe I am an ignorant young lady whom you can deceive? How can you discuss love while maintaining your ex's involvement in our lives?" Gino extended his hand into his pocket. "I did not intend to deceive. I aimed to safeguard our relationship. I intended to inform you this evening. I intended to propose." He unsealed the container. A diamond ring glimmered beneath the subdued illumination. Jasmine gazed at it. The table remained silent for an extended duration. Subsequently, she rose to her feet. "Do you wish to marry me, Gino?" she inquired, her voice quavering. "Affirmative. Above all else. In the future, please disclose the truth prior to the accumulation of falsehoods." She departed, abandoning the ring on the table. Gino sat solitary, the city lights obscured by the tears in his eyes. Greetings, esteemed viewers. Welcome to my channel. I am Amelia. I hope your day is going well. If you like the video, please remember to subscribe to the channel.